Good evening, afternoon, everyone here in uh, in outer space and then Earth, while we're enjoying a warm evening somewhere and possibly looking out for whatever weather's coming at us. Not necessarily because a politician is going to tell us what we need to do, but because our instincts will tell us, like, hey, we probably need to start stacking up on water. When was the last time you heard what the city of your county city did to harness water, protect the the safety, for lack of a better word, water and all these things. So sure. I do really hope that everybody's having a great evening today. I always get a little bit like stuck, like, hung up on whether it's like evening or afternoon. It's like, it's afternoon, but is it evening or is it good night? so, so forgive my hesitance. Either way, I did want to, like, I start wanted to, I wanted to start by saying that maybe I've been a little bit too harsh on myself for using all of these, like, vile and profane types of terminology, although of course they're entirely benign in the eyes of God, I'm sure, because he knows my heart and he knows where I'm coming from. And everybody has their own, their own relationship with God, and they know what is going on with the relationship. I'm not here to judge, and I don't mean to be judgmental. I just mean to say that I am a very, like, I observe behavior, and the behavior of the society is not necessarily conducive to anything that's going to lead to a sustainable society at all. I mean, it just really includes, it did start actually for me with how the corporate leaders were um, very into, like, that whole mind thing, um, group thing. Sorry, the group thing means that your mind has to be on their mind and your mind has to be theirs, and so everybody's just very paranoid about, like, what's going on, and we need more assurances and we need to know that you're captive, basically. And what I thought was that, well, that's going to actually also lead, if you just trust me, if you just trust who I am and what I can deliver, um, then I can actually follow through on it and give very positive results. Except, of course, there's been people in the past. So the bad apple is the people is are those who reign in this society, and the bad apple is the spited and the stifled and disgruntled person that is going to lead and conduct how everybody else in the labor force has to live by. Like, well, there was once this one disgruntled person, and that's not necessarily how it has to be. I think that it's not good. So I did start to write something that is a little bit more encouraging, which I really do want to pick up on. It's not entirely finished, but I just start with saying, it occurred to me that I'm not a Puritan. I feel that such a high standard creates a barrier to submerging oneself in a structured faith. It's much better to become a Puritan throughout the course of one's life and learn from one's own mistakes. Learning life's lessons from your own experience allows you to, one, seek your innate good, natured sense, natural sense of morals, and incidentally, for two, seek your creator as a source of forming good judgment. This puts God over men, rightfully so. As a believer, I accept the birth of God as Jesus Christ, God incarnate. I believe that he resurrected, and I believe in his promise to render eternal life to all of those who believe in him. Jesus Christ also believes in me and all those who believe in him. With this in mind, I recall so many Bible verses that have inspired me to remain optimistic, starting with that God forgives. When you're willing to learn from your mistakes, you will be forgiven. It becomes a chain reaction because when you're forgiven, you're able to recognize the good in people and also be able to forgive others. This becomes a greater service to people than anything you could have accomplished when worshiping everything which God defies. In the Bible, that relates to idolatry. The battle between God and Satan is a battle between nobility and materiality. And that's when Satan interrupted me and I got a little bit distracted, but no, it was sort of like I really do want to demean Satan. We should not give importance to Satan because when you give importance to Sa- that could consume you, right? But when you give importance to God and hold on to what He has promised for us, that is what's going to pull us through as people now, but also to eternity. And eternity is going to matter so much because of everything that's going on now. What do I think about what's happening with Trump and Biden right now? Um, I do think that Biden and Pelosi are the kind of like the opportunistic types of personality characters that thought that, well, hey, as long as is we present ourselves a certain way and are able to have the power over people, we can just carry on our own agenda and hide it from people while we enrich ourselves. That is called analyzing a person behaviorally. So when you look at their behavior, you don't have to know what's going on. Other times, it's almost more like they want us to know. Like they want us to know, like, hey, well, this is what I'm doing. I mean, is this a cry for help, or are you trying to make me your accomplice, or are you trying to um, ridicule me? So I'm not really sure what it is, but in my experience, this is these are the choices I've had with evil people, and this is the choices we have with people in power now. Like, so which one is it going to be? And it's kind of like everybody else to them is like a mouse in some sort of like a trap. And they're just laughing and watching which way we go. Like, are they going to take the cheese this way? Are they going to take the cheese that way? Or either way, they always have a solution. And that's infuriating. It really is. But also, it's kind of like for me, it's they're peasants. This is what a peasant would behave like when they're trying to, like the hookers and the pimps and like the traditional times when there was like, kingships and people were able, like, had to protect their land and it wasn't about voting people on. And so you just had these whores and thugs like trying to like make money off of people all the time. So it's kind of like the same um, type of reaction to what the at behavior to what Nancy Pelosi and Joe Biden are doing now in the position they're in. Not that they actually recognize us, because who knows, right? But it is kind of like the same behavior that you would expect from like a wench, like the wench and like the wench's pimp or whatever the wench's pimp, like the pirate or whatever. So that's kind of where I am. Like this is where we are, and we've allowed it. We've allowed it for. I mean, I'm 43 years old. Give me a break, okay? Like you have to give people enough time to actually, you know, deal with their with can I even say the word conscience anymore? Yes, I can. You have to let them deal with their conscience, and you have to allow them to um, hopefully cleanse it, like clean their conscience out and say, oh my God, like I've been rationalizing this whole time, justifying my own behavior, thinking that because I thought that everybody else was trash, I was going to behave trashy. And guess what? Not everybody is. And especially, it shouldn't be me, the person that is in charge of being the leader, the person that wants to be exemplifying what needs to happen so that people don't start killing themselves and like being greedy and grubby, or even worse, being led into chambers because we allowed it, because people are telling us what we should be thinking, and nobody can be doing anything, and nobody can do anything about it because we don't have a leader. We didn't have a leader with I don't want to say anybody's name. I'm sorry. It's too easy. It's too easy. It's almost like get out of here. Um, we need a leader to come and say, "We, you're wanted, you're loved, and if you wanted to be a vocal and participate in people's lives, you can, and you should." Let's talk about ideas. Let's talk about, um, don't complain. I'm not a complainer. I'm a I'm a problem solver. Complaining's fine. You can complain and be mad at yourself or mad at other people, but let's talk about what the true solutions are and forget that the current administration that is really just making everything like um like they're just like sort of putting a weight, like a bigger weight on everybody else than anybody was ever been expecting by voting for them. So, you know, uh, anyhow, sorry, I haven't done this in a long time, but Bible lottery, which is that I just kind of flipped the Bible through. Here's my Bible. I had to like tape it with like, uh, anyhow, let's do this. All right, let's see. Ah, Job. Job. So I landed on Job, and I'm fixated on chapter 35. Then Elihu proceeded and said, "Do you think it right to say I am just rather than God? To say, what does it profit me? What advantage have I more than if I have sinned? I have words for a reply to you and your three companions as well. Look up to the skies and behold, regard the heavens high above you. If you sin, what injury do you do to God? Even if your offenses are many, how do you hurt him? If you are righteous, what do you give him? Or what does he receive from your hand? Your wickedness can affect only a man like yourself, and your justice only a fellow human being." That's gangster. That's gang. That's total. Um, so this is Job 35, 1 through 8. Amazing. Thank you, God. Have a great one. Talk to you guys soon. Bye.